the number of lives lost has reached something like 20,000, among whom, by the IFJ's count, 63 are journalists. This is almost without precedent in modern war, particularly when considered as a proportion of the number of journalists who are working in the enclave. At the outset of the conflict, the Israelis redoubled the blockade that has prevented international reporters getting into Gaza, so there are only Gazan journalists working in the enclave, and the loss of life among them represents something between 6 and 8% of all of those who are at work. What are the conditions like for journalists in Gaza? They are wretched. Like the rest of the Gazan population, they have almost no food, almost no water. The equipment to do their work is now becoming broken and needing replacing, and they have no fuel. Because they have no fuel, they have to walk to all their assignments, which often involves carrying heavy television equipment on their shoulders. So they are understandably absolutely exhausted and, in desperate need of the basics of human existence. Almost all have lost their homes, so living in makeshift tents. Almost all have lost members of their family, so are coping with bereavement. How they continue, I don't know, but I have to say I am the deepest admirer of their work. They are doing an extraordinary job of documenting what's happening in their neighbourhoods so that the world has some idea of what has befallen Gaza. Clearly, until a conviction is reached at the International Criminal Court, it's impossible to say whether war crimes have been committed or not, although it does seem quite likely. The International Federation of Journalists laid a complaint at the ICC more than a year ago about the killing of the Palestinian journalist Shireen Abu Akleh in 2022. She was killed in the West Bank long before the current conflict started. The ICC does seem to have dragged its feet, but we have recently received assurances that it is now investigating the case. This is very welcome, and my hope is that it will provide a template for considering the many other cases of dead journalists that have happened. How possible it will be to hold to account those who are behind these deaths, how possible it will be to gather the evidence necessary for proper criminal investigations and prosecutions to take place, I don't know. But I think it's critical for Gazan and Palestinian people more generally to have faith in international law, for these cases to be taken seriously and dealt with as though the world cares about them.